My dear students, next topic is stoichiometric calculations. What are the stoichiometric calculations? Calculations based on chemical equations are called stoichiometric calculations. Calculations based on stoichiometric calculations. Calculations based on chemical equations are called stoichiometric calculations. Calculations based on chemical equations are called stoichiometric calculations. There are so many types are there. First one, calculations based on weight-weight relationship. Stoichiometric calculations based on weight-weight relationship. Stoichiometric calculations based on weight-weight relationship. That means reactants and products are expressed in terms of weight only. Suppose if we take one reaction, KClO3, potassium chlorate, on heating, potassium chloride plus oxygen are formed. Balanced equation. Potassium chlorate on heating, potassium chloride plus oxygen are formed. 2 moles of potassium chlorate. 2 moles of potassium chlorate on heating, 2 moles of potassium chloride and 3 moles of oxygen are formed. So weight-weight relationship means here reactant is potassium chlorate. This potassium chlorate should be given in terms of weight. When products also should be given in terms of weight. Weight-weight relationship. Here 2 moles of potassium chlorate means 2 into its molecular mass is 122.5. 2 into 122.5 grams of potassium chlorate on heating gives potassium chloride 74.5. 74.5 grams of potassium chloride, 2 moles of potassium chloride, 2 into 74.5 and 3 into 32 grams of oxygen. 2 into 122.5 grams of potassium chlorate on heating gives 2 into 74.5 grams of potassium chloride and 3 into 32 grams of oxygen. So here reactant and products both are expressed in terms of weight. So this kind of calculations are called calculations based on weight-weight relationship. Reactants and products both are expressed in terms of weight. Suppose if the problem is given like this, what is the weight of oxygen gas liberated when 12.25 grams of potassium chlorate is heated? What is the weight of oxygen gas liberated when 12.25 grams of potassium chlorate is heated? First, we should write the chemical equation. We should write the chemical equation. We should calculate weight of oxygen. Given that weight of potassium chlorate, from this equation, 2 into 122.5 grams, 2 into 122.5 grams KClO3 gives 3 into 32 grams oxygen. Now we should calculate 12.25 grams potassium chlorate on heating gives how much of oxygen? From this equation, we know that 2 into 102.5 grams of KClO3 gives 3 into 32 grams of oxygen. Then 12.25 grams of KClO3 gives how much of oxygen? 12.25 into 3 into 32 divided by 2 into 122.5. It becomes 0.1. 0.1. 2 ones 2 16s. 16 3 is 48. 48 into 0.1. 4.8. 4.8 grams of oxygen. 2 into 122.5 grams of potassium chlorate on heating gives 3 into 32 grams of oxygen. Then we should calculate 12.25 grams of potassium chlorate on heating gives how much of oxygen? This much of oxygen, 4.8 grams of oxygen. So these are the problems based on weight-weight relationship. See, I'll give one more example. CaCO3 on heating, CaO plus CO2 are formed. Calcium carbonate on heating, calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide are formed. CaCO3 is also called limestone. Limestone on heating, quicklime plus CO2 gas are liberated. If the problem is given like this, what is the weight of CO2 gas liberated by heating 10 grams of calcium carbonate? What is the weight of CO2 gas liberated by heating 10 grams of calcium carbonate? First, we should write the chemical equation. Calcium carbonate on heating, calcium oxide plus CO2 are formed. 100 grams calcium carbonate on heating liberates 44 grams carbon dioxide. 100 grams of calcium carbonate on heating liberates 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Then 10 grams calcium carbonate on heating liberates how much of carbon dioxide? Just 4.4 grams. 4.4 grams of CO2 gas will be liberated. So these are the problems based on weight-weight relationship. Calcium carbonate weight is given, we should calculate weight of carbon dioxide. So stoichiometric calculations based on weight-weight relationship. Next, second kind of problems. Calculations based on volume relationship. Stoichiometric calculations based on volume relationship. Ethane on combustion with oxygen, CO2 plus H2 are formed. Not only ethane, any hydrocarbon on complete combustion with oxygen gives CO2 gas plus H2. Balance the equation. Here 2 moles of carbon atoms are there. Then 2 moles of carbon dioxide. 6 moles of hydrogens are there. 3 moles of water. Product side number of oxygens 4 plus 3 7. 2 2 is 4, 4 plus 3 7. So 7 by 2 I am taking. 4 plus 3 7 moles of oxygen atoms. If you take 7 moles, then 14 moles of oxygen atoms are present. If you take 7 by 2, then 7 moles of oxygen atoms. Everything is balanced. So here 1 mole of ethane on combustion with 3.5 moles of oxygen gives 2 moles of CO2 and 3 moles of H2O. Volume relationship. 22.4 liters of ethane. 1 mole of ethane means 22.4 liters. 7 by 2 moles of oxygen. We know that 1 mole of any gas at STP occupies 22.4 liters. 1 mole of ethane means 22.4 liters. 7 by 2 moles of oxygen means 3.5 moles of oxygen. 3.5 into 22.4 liters gives rise to 2 moles of carbon dioxide. 2 into 22.4 liters carbon dioxide. 3 moles of water vapor. 3 into 22.4 liters of water vapor. So here all are given in terms of volume only. 22.4 liters of ethane on combustion with 3.5 into 22.4 liters of oxygen gives 2 into 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide, 3 into 22.4 liters of H2O. All are given in terms of volume. So here if problem is given like this, what is the volume of CO2 gas liberated during the combustion of 100 milliliters of ethane? If the problem is given like this, calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated. Calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated during the combustion of 100 milliliters of ethane. First, we should write this stoichiometric equation. From this equation, 1 mole of ethane gives 2 moles of carbon dioxide. 1 mole of ethane gives 2 moles of carbon dioxide. 1 mole of ethane means 22.4 liters. For the during the combustion of 22.4 liters of CO, 22.4 liters of C2 is 6. 2 into 22.4 liters of CO2 gas is liberated. For 1 mole, 2 moles. During the combustion of 1 mole of ethane, 2 moles of CO2 is liberated. We should calculate during the combustion of 100 milliliters of C2 is 6. How many milliliters of CO2 is liberated? 200. Directly we can tell 1 mole or 1 milliliter during the combustion of 1 milliliter of ethane. 2 milliliters of CO2 gas will be liberated. Then during the combustion of 100 milliliters ethane, how many milliliters of CO2 gas is liberated? 200. 200 milliliters of CO2 gas will be liberated. During the combustion of 1 milliliter of ethane, 2 milliliters of CO2 gas will be liberated. We should calculate during the combustion of 100 milliliters of ethane, how many milliliters of CO2 gas will be liberated? 200 milliliters. Suppose if the problem is given like this, for the combustion of 10 milliliters of ethane, for the combustion of 10 milliliters of ethane, what is the volume of oxygen required? For the combustion of 10 milliliters of ethane, what is the volume of oxygen gas required? From this equation, we can say that for 1 mole, 3.5 moles of oxygen is required. For 1 mole, 3.5 moles of oxygen means for 1 milliliter of ethane, 3.5 milliliters of O2 gas is required. For 3.5 milliliters. Then for 10 milliliters of ethane, how many milliliters of oxygen gas is required? 35 milliliters of oxygen gas is required. So these are the calculations based on volume relationship. Reactant and product both are given in terms of volumes only. Next, third one. Calculations based on weight volume relationship. Stoichiometric calculations based on weight volume relationship. So that means here reactants are expressed in terms of weight, products are expressed in terms of volume. Reactants are expressed in terms of weight, products are expressed in terms of volume. For example, calcium carbonate on heating, calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide are produced. If the problem is given like this, calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated during the combustion of 10 grams of limestone. Calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated during the combustion of 10 grams limestone. Weight of this calcium carbonate is given. We should calculate volume of CO2 gas liberated from the stoichiometric equation. First, we should write the stoichiometric equation. CaCO3 on heating, CaO plus CO2 gas are formed. Weight volume. I am taking weight of calcium carbonate. 1 mole of calcium carbonate means 100 grams. 100 grams of calcium carbonate. No need to take this one. So because here we should calculate volume of CO2 gas liberated and weight of CaCO3 is given. From this equation, 1 mole calcium carbonate on heating liberates 22.4 liters of CO2. 1 mole of calcium carbonate means with respect to weight 100 grams. 100 grams calcium carbonate on heating liberates 22.4 liters carbon dioxide. 100 grams calcium carbonate on heating liberates 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide. We should calculate 10 grams of calcium carbonate on heating liberates how much of carbon dioxide. 100 grams gives 22.4 liters, then 10 grams gives how much? 2.24 liters. 10 into 22.4 divided by 100. 2.24 liters. 2.24 liters of CO2 gas will be liberated. Stoichiometric calculations based on weight volume relationship. Weight of calcium carbonate is given. We should calculate volume of carbon dioxide. Next one. Calculations based on weight, volume, energy relationship. Calculations based on weight, volume, energy relationship. For reactants, weight should be given. For products, volume. Along with that, products, energy liberated or energy absorbed will also consider. We should consider energy liberated or absorbed also. For example, ethyl alcohol on combustion with oxygen, CO2 plus H2 are formed. Ethyl alcohol on combustion with oxygen, carbon dioxide plus H2 are produced. Balance the equation. This is the balanced equation. Ethyl alcohol on combustion with oxygen, CO2 gas and H2 vapor will be formed. Weight, volume, energy. During the combustion of 46 grams of ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH, its molecular mass is 46. CO2, 2 into 22.4 liters of CO2 gas is liberated. During the combustion of 1 mole of ethyl alcohol, 2 moles of CO2 is liberated. 1 mole of ethyl alcohol means 46 grams. 2 moles of CO2 means 2 into 22.4 liters. Plus this much of energy is liberated. During this combustion reaction, this much of energy is liberated. Weight, volume, energy. For reactant, weight is mentioned. For product, volume is mentioned. And this much of energy is liberated. Same reaction we can write 2CO2 plus 3H2O. Delta H is equal to minus 1367.2 kilojoules. We can write like that also. Suppose if the problem is given like this, calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated. Calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated and amount of heat liberated at STP during the combustion of 2.3 grams of ethyl alcohol. Calculate the volume of CO2 gas liberated and amount of heat liberated at STP during the combustion of 2.3 grams of ethyl alcohol. First, we should write the stoichiometric equation. Even given equation also given, this equation is given. Ethyl alcohol on combustion with oxygen, CO2 plus H2 are produced. Plus 1367.2 kilojoules. Ethyl alcohol plus oxygen gives rise to CO2 plus H2 are produced and this much of energy is liberated. By using this, we should calculate volume of the CO2 gas liberated and amount of heat liberated. From the equation, 1 mole of ethyl alcohol is involved. 1 mole of ethyl alcohol means 46 grams. During the combustion of 46 grams of ethyl alcohol, what is the volume of CO2 gas liberated? 2 into 22.4 liters. CO2 gas is liberated. During the combustion of this much of ethyl alcohol, this much of CO2 gas is liberated. Now we should calculate during the combustion of 2.3 grams of ethyl alcohol. How much of CO2 gas will be liberated? 2.3 into 2 into 22.4 divided by 46. 2.3 20s, 46. 2 tens, 22.4 by 10, 2.24. 2.24 liters of CO2 gas. During the combustion of 2.3 grams of ethyl alcohol, this much of CO2 gas will be liberated. Next, we should calculate amount of heat liberated also. During the combustion of 46 grams ethyl alcohol, what is the amount of heat liberated? Given that 1367.2 kilojoules. This much of energy will be liberated. During the combustion of 46 grams of ethyl alcohol, this much of energy will be liberated. We should calculate during the combustion of 2.3 grams of ethyl alcohol, how much of energy will be liberated. 2.3 into 1367.2 divided by 46. 2.3 20s. It becomes 68.36. 68.36 kilojoules of energy will be liberated. So, this is the problem based on stoichiometric calculations based on weight, volume, energy relationship. These are the stoichiometric calculations. So, limiting reagent. What is limiting reagent? Limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent, or the reactant which can produce least number of moles of product is also called limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction, or the reactant which can produce least number of moles of product is called limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent, or the reactant which can produce least number of moles of product is called limiting reagent. For example, I am taking one general reaction. A plus 2B gives rise to 3C. 1 mole of A plus 2 moles of B gives rise to 3 moles of C. In this reaction, let us take initially 2 moles of A and 5 moles of B. Then identify the limiting reagents. Initially 1 mole of A and 5 moles of B are given. Then which is the limiting reagent? These are initial number of moles. Now reacted. From this given equation, to react with 1 mole of A, 2 moles of B is required. To react with 1 mole of A, 2 moles of B is required. Then to react with 2 moles, how many moles is required? 4 moles enough. For 1 mole, 2 moles of B is required. For 1 mole of A, 2 moles of B is required. Initial number of moles of A is given 2. For 2 moles, how many moles is required? 4 moles enough, but here excess of B is given. So reacted to 4. Given number of moles of B 5. From that 5 moles, only 4 moles will be reacted. Next, finally, number of moles of A 0, number of moles of B 1. Total 5 moles is given, but from that 5 moles, 4 moles reacted. The number of moles of B left 1. The number of moles of C formed. See here, first we should identify which is the limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed among these two reactants, which is completely consumed, A. So A should be the limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent. Here A is completely consumed, so A should be the limiting reagent. Then number of moles of C formed. In this reaction, maximum how many moles of C will be formed? 1 mole gives 3 moles. 1 mole gives 3 moles. Then 2 moles gives how many moles? 1 gives 3 moles. 1 gives 3 moles. Then 2 gives how many moles? 6 moles. 6 moles of C should be formed. From this first definition, we can identify that A is limiting reagent. Or by using this definition also, we can determine limiting reagent. The reactant which can produce least number of moles of products. If A is taken as limiting reagent, 1 mole of A gives 3 moles of C. From this equation, 1 mole of A gives 3 moles of C. Then 2 moles of A is given. 2 moles gives how many moles? Then 6 moles. 6 moles of C should be formed. Now let us take B. From the given equation, 2 moles gives 3 moles. 2 moles gives 3 moles. Then 5 moles of 2 moles of B gives 2 moles of B gives 3 moles of C. Then 5 moles gives how many moles? 5 into 3 by 2, 7.5. The reactant which can produce least number of moles of product is called limiting reagent. If we take A as limiting reagent, number of moles of product formed is 6 only. If B is taken as limiting reagent, number of moles of product formed is 7.5 moles. So which one is producing least number of moles of product? A. So it should be the limiting reagent. For example, if the reaction is given like this, H2 plus Cl2 gives rise to 2HCl. 5 moles of hydrogen, 8 moles of chlorine are given. Then which is the limiting reagent? Directly we can tell. For 1 mole of chlorine is required. For 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole of chlorine is enough. Then for 5 moles, how many moles of chlorine must be required? For 1 mole means for 5 moles is required, but here excess of chlorine is given. So which is completely involved? Hydrogen. So hydrogen is limiting reagent. Initially 5 moles of hydrogen, 8 moles of chlorine are given. Reacted. 5 moles will react. For 1 mole is required. For 5 moles is required. Then finally 0. 5 moles of hydrogen is given. 5 moles reacted. The number of moles of hydrogen remains unreacted is 0. Chlorine 8 moles is given. From that 8 moles, 5 moles reacted. Then how many moles of chlorine remains unreacted? 3 moles. 8 moles of chlorine is given, but from that 8 moles, 5 moles of chlorine reacted. Then remaining number of moles of chlorine 3. Then number of moles of HCl formed. So here which is the limiting reagent? Hydrogen is limiting reagent. The reactant which is completely involved, which is completely consumed in a chemical reaction is called limiting reagent. So we should take hydrogen as limiting reagent. 1 mole gives 2 moles. 1 mole gives 2 moles. 5 moles reacted. Then 10 moles. 10 moles of HCl must be formed. In this reaction, which is the limiting reagent means hydrogen is limiting reagent. How many moles of HCl is found means 10 moles of HCl will be formed. After reaction, 10 moles of HCl will be formed. After reaction, how many moles of hydrogen remains unreacted? 0. How many moles of hydrogen remains unreacted? 0. 5 moles is given, 5 moles is reacted. How many moles of chlorine remains unreacted? 3 moles. Because total 8 moles is given. From that 8 moles, 5 moles reacted. Then remaining number of moles of chlorine. Or number of moles of chlorine remains unreacted, 3 moles. So this is the limiting reagent.